powers grow. Laid back wisdom, smooth as Sunday brunch. A life of thought, he hits you with the punch. Lil Joe's mind a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul. Talking about the world from the wild to the mild. Every topic on the table, thoughts free and wild. Chill like a summer breeze, groove so divine. From the cosmos to the corner, all intertwined. Retro funk with a lo-fi swing. Chill rap waves, let the podcast sing. Wisdom laced in humor, truths in disguise. Lil Joe dropping gems, open up your eyes. From late night laughs to early morning rants. Philosophies dance while the rhythm enchants. Relax, kick back, it's the vibe we sow. Straight from the mind of Lil Joe, let's go. Lil Joe's mind a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul. Lil Joe's mind a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul.
The Exchange Club Family Center is here to help parents learn how to provide a safe and healthy, nurturing home environment. If you would like to be a part of the program and live in Nassau, Baker, or Clay counties, please go to the Exchange Club Family Center website at exchangeclubfamilycenter.com. Or if you'd like to become a member of the Exchange Club here in Jacksonville, please also go to our website again at exchangeclubfamilycenter.com.
Did you know only a few years ago, getting on TV was almost impossible for small businesses? Today, everything's changed. Now real access belongs to everyone. For decades, it took deep pockets to get your message on TV or radio. The big companies had all the power, leaving everyday people and businesses out in the cold, but not anymore. At Purpose Inspired TV, we believe everyone deserves a voice. We make it easy and affordable to put your content on platforms like Roku and Fire TV. No huge budgets, no tech headaches, just a clear path to reaching millions. We're not just another tech company. We're your bridge to new opportunities. Whether you're a business, an organization, or a dreamer with a message, this is your moment, so why not take that next step? Purpose Inspired TV, access to the world for everyone.
What's up, everybody? Pray everybody's doing well. Now, y'all see, look different. Got on my old Navy jacket. This jacket is about 30, 35 years old. Woo, woo. Yeah, this bad boy old. But I got a different subject, different topic tonight. Really, I'm gonna be telling a story, one of Lil Joe's crazy adventures, kind of crazy. So I'm just go ahead and get started. See, how did I get to this point? It's like saying, been in the military, saw a lot of different things while I was in. I know a lot of people have been, and a lot of people still in it. People that's in the military now. Um, so I wanted to hit this subject because it just hit me today. Actually, what I did, I went to the VA. I actually just started going to the VA, and I've been asked all these different questions. And so again, asking all these questions, answering these questions. And then one of the questions was it was a loaded question. I think it was, have you ever been? I don't know if we could say the X word. Um, what's that alternative? Actually assaulted, attacked, abused, stalked, that type thing. And I said I was about to say no, and I usually say no. And then for some reason, when I was about to say no, this thought hit my head. It was like, yes, you have. And I was like, what? Yes, I have. And then I started thinking about it, and this story that I lived through came back, flooding back in, came back to my remembrance. But before I get into that, I want to talk about what a lot of people go through in these particular situations. A lot, I know, majority of the people, especially in the United States, is the women. I know in other countries, I think India, women have a problem with men um, bothering them and attacking them. A lot of, I believe, that even a lot of Muslim countries, they deal with it. I'm gonna move my mail. Yeah, that's bothering me. What about that? Yeah, and that. No, that. That. Anyway, I can deal with it. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of women in different countries, they deal with it. A lot of women in the military deal with it, and also men. And a lot of people, I believe, they don't think about men when men go through particular situations like that. And well, most definitely, a lot of men don't talk about it, or they're not going to report it. So my situation, I didn't really talk about it much, and I most definitely didn't report it. I probably felt my life was, yeah, I did. I knew my life was in danger if I would have reported it. So what am I talking about? I have this friend on Facebook. She was showing her journey of reporting the assault that she had to go through while she was in, and is a brutal thing to go through. So she, like I said, she shared how she went through it, and I know people were supporting her and praying for her and helping her, encouraging her as she went through that ordeal. Uh, but the sad thing is the administration, like the people that's in charge now, are making it harder for women, making it harder for victims to even um, report it. I'm gonna take a look over here. Um, I know, like Pete Hesseth wanted this, wanted to make some changes. I know back in 2023 they was going to start using um, private, non-military forces to help victims. But what's happening now is a lot of the victims are being the ones that's under attack. So they are not able to report unanimously. They're supposed to, you know, let everybody know who, what, where, when, why, how. And it's a trauma. It's a trauma that a lot of the victims go through. And especially, again, it's different. Military is different from working a regular job. You got this chain of command, and you can't just quit your job and go work somewhere else. Even if you leave a particular duty station and go somewhere else, that can probably still follow you. So it's totally different from being a civilian. But for the leadership in over the military that's attacking the victims, or making it harder for them to report, or putting a limit on how many times they can report, it's just crazy. That's attack the victim. I understand um, there are some people that don't tell the truth, but it's more people that do tell the truth. They say, I think I just watched a report. It's thousands of cases that's happening right now. That's not. that haven't been handled, haven't been dealt with. And we can't say, if it's thousands of people, you can't say thousands of people are lying, especially if they have it's a particular culture. Um, Even a man is still, yeah, women are in the military, but still men uh, kind of like overpower the women. So, all right. So yeah, that's happening. And so I pray that all work out. And a lot of women that's going through this again, and men pray that they can get the help that they need. Some people, they're basically survivors or trying to survive, but some of them cause harm to themselves because they had such a hard time dealing with the situation that they went through. Then again, they had nobody to go tell. A lot of times, even I don't know how the battlefield is, but a lot of you in a closed net situation on the ship is a little bit different. But then let's say you getting dropped off in the middle of nowhere in the woods. Um, you at the mercy of the people that are around you. Your life is dependent upon the people around you. And maybe if you become a victim and try to report that, that might put your life in jeopardy. So, like I said, it's totally different from the military world and the civilian world. So, okay, so I'll get back to me. So I just wanted to do that. Like, that's been a part of my um, the why. Why? Well, how did this subject come up? Like I said, I've been watching. I watched, like I said, watched my friend's story, what she went through. I think she's happily married and got a family, but she still had to go through that battle. I'm talking recently, even this year, she was still dealing with it, still going to court and reporting and all that kind of stuff. Where a lot of people try to dismiss what the victims have to say. Okay, let's go back to my story. So again, like I said, I was at the VA and they were asking those questions, and like I said, it hit me like, man, you did go through that. I was like, I did. So it reminded me of this story. So that's what I'm going to be telling this story. So most people, I don't remember the names. Haven't seen these people 20, 25, multiple years. Kind of like when I made it out of the situation, I kind of like put it out of my mind, but I think it was still there. And I think maybe me telling my story maybe to help somebody address their story, like be something that I know. Like I said, a lot of men they just um, hide things or put it away. We done with it. It's over with, and let's keep on moving. Got to go on with your life. But then sometimes you realize it's still there, and sometimes uh, you start making decisions or living your life over something that you thought that it was totally gone. But all right, so I don't know. Okay, not saying that about me, but I just say, all right, there we go. This all occurred in Tennessee, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. That was one of my duty stations. I was stationed all back and forth across the country, but this particular time I was in Tennessee in school, and just I don't know if this was happening before. I don't recall it happening before. But anyway, one of the senior guys, somebody that had been on that base longer than us and had more money than us. He had his own car. A lot of us didn't have any money for no car, and we wasn't staying there long enough to get a car. But he was there with a car, and let's just describe him. Let's say me. I was been skinny, just a really skinny dude. So I was like, let's say like 130, 6 feet tall, 130, 140 pounds, tall and skinny. The guy that was going to drive his car, well, I guess I missed his part. He was going to drive from Memphis to Chicago. He was a ex police officer, and they was having some kind of parade up in Chicago. that he wanted to be in. So he asked a couple of people to go with him to on this road trip. So y'all, if anybody know me, I'm down for a road trip. So it was, and I guess I got to, I don't, anyway, tell the rate. So he's a white guy from Chicago. Like I said, ex police officer. He's about, if I'm 6 feet, he was about 6'3", 6'4", probably about 300 pounds. Big, big tall dude. Reminds me, y'all remember the guy from Night Court, that real big tall guy, or somebody big like that. So he was a big guy, and myself, and then a guy that was, he was in my boot camp. Uh, I'm not gonna say his name, but it's another guy. He's about 6'2". I think he weighed less than me. He was like skin and bones. Was, yeah, really tall white dude, and then another black guy. So two black guys, two white guys, going to go on a road trip with this guy. We really didn't know him too well, and he had a sports car, and I can't remember what kind of sports car. It was fast and tight, not that much room inside the car. So okay, so he asked us to go with him to Chicago. Probably that, I think we were leaving that Friday. So the black guy said, "Could we stop in Indianapolis?" And I should have looked it up. It's some historically black college in Indianapolis, I believe it was, or Indiana. I don't remember exactly, but he asked to go there, and when he found out about the trip. So, okay, so we take off, and we're taking turns driving, and while we're driving, let's say like if the big dude, let's just call him the big dude. Like I said, it's a sports car. If you're riding in the back seat, I know the white guy in the back, he had to ride with his legs wide open because it was like no room in the back seat. And I didn't really want to go out there, but I would have took my turn. So those two guys, the other white guy and the black guy, they was mostly in the back. So okay, let's say so. Big dude, the owner of the car, he's driving. And like I said, I really didn't know him too well. As he's driving, it's the driver's seat, like a sports seat. You got the gear stick between it and the passenger seat. So as we're driving, he's like this the whole time, all up on me, like this all driving. All the hours that he's driving, he's like this, and I'm just like doing the same thing, get all up on the window trying to get away from him. Like, yeah, I guess that's at first, but I guess that's the way he drives. So, but yeah, he was all up like that driving. So for hours and hours and hours while he's driving, that's the way he was driving. Then he got tired, so it's my turn to drive. So now I'm driving. This is how he is this time. Now he's like all leaning all like this, um, while I'm driving. So now I'm trying to drive and slide over to get away from him. Like, so all these thoughts are going through my mind. Like, why is he leaning like this? You're trying to say, it's just it's innocent, but I'm like, why is this guy all this close up on me? So anyway, so we make it to whatever this college was. Man, I forgot. I don't know. We made it. I think it was like maybe halfway. I don't know. Again, I got to look at the map. But yeah, we stopped in the town, the city. Went to this college, and we all got out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a college campus. It's a black college, and I'm like, what, 20, 21? Like no no girlfriend, no wife, no nothing, and I'm going to this college with all these girls. So we got to the college, and and we actually went in. We went in the dorm, girls everywhere, and so the guy got with his girlfriend, and then I don't know if I asked could I stay, or either it came up for me like I know I want to stay. Forget this Chicago trip, and especially with this creepy dude leaning all up on me. I'd rather stay here with all the ladies, the real women. Um, so that was my plan. So my man was staying there, so I wanted to stay there. But the other white dude, so I was basically saying, okay, big white dude drive the car, skinny white dude ride with him. Y'all go to Chicago for the weekend, and Sunday night come back and pick us up. But the problem was, the other skinny white dude, it's no disrespect to anybody by saying white dude, but the other skinny white dude was like, nope, if Joe's staying, I'm staying. It's like, no, 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 that ain't the plan. That ain't the plan. No, if Joe, like all these black people, we're on a black college, black dudes and black girls everywhere. This would have been the only white dude on the entire campus, but he did not want to go on the trip if I wasn't going on the trip. So like, well, we was buddies. I ain't like we wasn't like best friends or anything. So I'm not 100% sure why he didn't want to go. I don't know if he saw the ladies too that he wanted to stay around and stay on the campus. I don't really know. So now the driver, he's getting upset that didn't nobody wanting to go with him to Chicago. And I'm trying to talk to skinny white dude. Please go to this trip and let me stay here. No, if you staying on campus, I'm staying. So I had to give in and say, all right, all right, all right. We told the guy that we was gonna go with him to Chicago. We're gonna go to Chicago. And I'm looking all sad and mad, and I got to leave all these college girls behind. So anyway, we get in the car, get back on the road, driving again. Nothing's changed. If I'm driving, I don't know if skinny white dude drove. I don't think he drove. I think it was just me and big dude was the only ones that drove. He probably didn't want me to. I I know I would have been saying I want to get in the back seat, but I don't know. It's so many years ago, but I can't remember the other guy driving. Not even sure if he knew how to drive. Tell you the truth. Um, so anyway, so we finished the trip, make it to Chicago. Went to the dude's uh, mom. I just remember his mom's house. So she took us to where we was going to be, the sleeping arrangements. So I remember they showed us the room. It was a bed for two people and a bed for one person. And there I'm fighting with skinny white dude. Like, look, I'm not sleeping with this dude. And he's like, I can't sleep over. I said, we arguing again over who gonna sleep with big dude. And I just, I don't know if I could have. I don't know. But I was in that situation. I backed down again. I don't like being too close to people. I'm getting better now to even hold a man's hand when we at church praying. I have a problem even touching a man's hand. So I got this, my skin crawls if I'm too close to a man. So now you telling me I got to go to sleep in a bed with this big dude that already was all up on me driving here. So I'm search like some kind of praying. Like so I probably if I had a blanket, I know I wrap myself up. I wasn't getting under the cover with this dude. So anyway, so I made it through the night. He didn't touch me or anything. He didn't bother me. But I know I probably was sleeping with one eye open and just figuring out what's gonna happen if he do try to bother me. Okay, so the next morning, um, we got up. I'm already up and everything, and skinny white dude, he was in the shower. So now I'm waiting, my turn to go in the bathroom or whatever. And big dude is in the room with me, and I think that's when he I don't know if you can call it making his move. He ended up like was trying to wrestle with me, and I remember him grabbing both of my wrists and like basically flinging me around, and I'm just showing how I'm seeing how powerless I am. Let me back up a little bit. I think um, is this the same day? Well, one I don't know if that was the same night. I'm sorry. Before the sleeping thing, we drove up somewhere in the woods, and He went and got his he said it was his gun for his gun his piece. So he went up there. We drove there and got it, and then we went back to the house. So okay, so I believe he's got a gun on him. Like he really didn't need it, but he had a gun on him. So yeah, he's flinging me around like a rag doll. Um, like I said, he didn't. I don't recall him touching me. All I do is I recall him just manhandling me, showing me that I was too skinny, too lightweight, not strong enough to fight back if he did try to do something with me. And pure, it wasn't fear, it was like anger that came over me. And I have the, um, um, my kind of anger is not to fight. My anger was to kill. So that's all what's going through my mind. If this he tried to do something with me, I got to kill him. But I know he's got a gun, and he's like probably almost twice my weight. I'm like, I'm in trouble. So so I remember I know my friend, the other guy, came back in the room, and he stopped whatever he was doing to me, but it still put that picture in my mind that this guy could do something to me, and there's nothing I could do about it. So he went off to the he left, went to the parade, and me, skinny white dude, drove all around Chicago like we knew what we was doing. I'm just driving all around, so that got me off my mind, but to be able to, see Chicago. Um, but then I started looking for a weapon. Uh, I said I got to have something to protect myself. And since wasn't from Chicago, I really didn't know where to go. As I think back about it, I should have just found the hood and went to the hood and got something. But I remember that was my mission. That was my mission for the rest of the trip, is to find a weapon. So I think so. Let me see, Friday night. So that's Saturday. Yeah, Friday night. So we had to do this sleeping thing again. I don't know if I might have told the skinny white dude like, nope, I'm not sleeping with this guy. Nope. So I think I finally, he can tell I had the fire in my eyes at this point, that he backed down, and I guess they slept together that last night. So now it's time to start our trip back. So we get on the road, start coming back, and I'm fiery mad. I am hot. No appetite. I don't have an appetite. I'm having no conversation. Nothing. My lips, I'm stiff lip. Probably my heart beating fast. Eyes probably red from being so angry. It's anger and a fear that what might happen. So that's how I am. So every time we went to a gas station, I would get out, go look for a weapon. Um, I think I couldn't find one at the first stop. We drive a while, go get some gas. I don't know if we made it to the guy yet, but I know every time. Anyway, we end up picking the guy back up at the college. I was mad about that, not even being able to spend no time there. So, but so I didn't even, wasn't trying to talk to nobody, and want no giving no phone numbers or nothing. I was just ready to get in the car, get back to Memphis. So eventually, we did get to um, stop, and I ended up getting me this huge knife. So that's what I ended up buying, and I had that knife on me, ready to stab the guy. So for the rest of the trip, I'm still mad. Then we end up having car trouble. His alternator went out, so it took us forever because y'all know the alternator. We left early in the morning, but I know we probably uh, I don't know. I know it was getting real close to when anyway it was got dark and alternator was going out. So when alternator go out, that you got to pull over and all that kind of stuff. We kept on pulling over. S- uh, somehow we limped back. We limped back and made it um, back, but we was late. We was out the 8. I think whatever time we supposed to have muster is when you're supposed to be dressed and ready to start your day. You know, so after you get up, shower, get dressed, go eat breakfast, then everybody muster together. So yeah, so we missed muster. So that's how long it took us to get back. And I think what it was most of the time when got to daytime. This is a side story. I think when the sun started coming out, we was able to cut the headlights off, and it went further by the headlights being off instead of it kept on going out on us. Anyway, we made it back. Um, so that was gonna be it for me. And just I have nothing else to say to this guy. I avoided him. I ducked him. Um, but I wouldn't go nowhere without my knife. Um, and I think I ended up, eventually I got a stun gun. So that was gonna be my weapon of choice, a stun gun. I knew I was gonna get in trouble with the knife, so I think that's why I had to end up getting rid of the knife, and I had a stun gun. And I think I had that with me in my pocket all the time or under my pillow. So I'm thinking, whatever he was thinking, it didn't happen. But we slept in. It was like dorm. It was a dorm. I think it was like two bunk beds in each dorm room. And I didn't really. Again, I thought it was all over. Then one day, I don't know why, but I know one day I took a nap in the daytime. That wasn't usual, but anyway, for this particular day, I was on the top bunk, sleeping. Then I wake up with how the hair in the back of your neck stand up. So yeah, the hair in the back of my neck, it woke me up, and then I turned over. He was just standing in the middle of the room, just staring at me, because nobody was up. Everybody else, gone out and about. I'm laying up there asleep, and he just standing there staring at me. So it's like I got to kill this guy because he's gonna hurt me. But so I guess, as far as I can remember now, I made it through that. I don't remember no other incidents, but I ended up, moved away. We left there. I went to San Diego and kind of put it out of my mind, but it still was kind of terrifying to have this giant to be watching you, or this giant that I don't know. I guess I can say he was attracted to me. I don't know. I ain't asked no questions. I don't want to know, but I did feel like uh, I was in danger, and I way I could kind of like feel like how some women might feel about some big men that that causes harm to them. That and I kind of felt a little, I don't want to say helpless, but you do feel like when he, like I said, when he proved to me how strong or way more stronger that he was over me. So he just showed me how easy it was for him to overpower me. I do remember my wrists, both of my wrists hurting after that situation. Because yeah, he wasn't. It's supposed to be like playing. One day I ain't playing with no man like that. But it was kind of like him playing with me. But I was like a rag doll, and I couldn't pull my hands away from him. So that's why my wrist was hurting. So that was in my mind how strong and how big this Joker is. And if he tried to do something, I'm kind of like was really kind of powerless. So that's basically what popped back in my mind today when the when the doctor asked me had I been through a situation like that before. I've been all my years. I'll always say no, I never have. But yeah, that was my Joe was a rag doll, but um, it was going to be a fight because I wasn't going out. I wasn't going out without a bang. And it was going to be the fight to the death. Either he died or you got to kill me. That's the only way. You're gonna have to kill me, and then you can do what you want to do after I'm dead. But as long as I got some fight, kickings, fight, it's no ain't no I wasn't. It wasn't going. Nothing I was going to do was going to be fair. Every well, nothing off limits. But thank God I didn't have to go through that. So, but again, like I said, imagine. I started thinking, imagine how many women go through that situation where different men, that's like I said, in the military and do different barracks and different things, and um, you just they're just helpless. But again, with sometimes I don't even know the number, but there's a certain amount of women that will report it. Let's just say 25% of the women report it. Well, imagine the men, I say us skinny lightweight dudes that go through that. How many of them report it? Probably slim to none. Or some guys, they if something would have happened, I don't know, but I know some guys probably calls if something was violated in those situations. Guys rather go and unalive themselves than to face the world and tell people what happened to them. It's bad for a woman, but but it's still it. I guess I can't even say what a woman thinks, but it seems like it's bad to be attacked by a man. I mean, a woman to be attacked by a man, but for a straight dude to be attacked by a man, that's kind of like uh, a death sentence to a majority of them. It's I don't know. I said I couldn't see myself coming back from that. That's why I said I'll fight to the death. You might as well go on and kill me because you ain't gonna violate me, and then I'm gonna be able to walk around because I'm probably all on my mind was to take you out. That's that as focused as I was, as mad as I was, just to trying to find a weapon for like what was that 2 days, and that's all I thought about. I didn't eat, didn't want to sleep. All I thought about was getting a weapon, and when I got this weapon, one of us not gonna be on this earth. So yeah, so that's how it was in my mind. Um, oh, I see a bunch of comments. I'm gonna jump over to the comments. Sorry, y'all. So yeah, that's my Tennessee story. Um, good evening. Um, yeah, definitely a lot of trauma in the military unspoken until they retire. Yep. Well, some people, I believe some men, we ain't, um, we not gonna say. Like I said, I done been 30 years, um, and I don't. It's something that we talk about, especially men don't want nobody. Nobody want. Well, I say nobody, like men. It's because like I said, the situation I see what women have to go through, and one they don't. A lot of people don't believe you, or you got so much pressure from the people above you that you really can't say anything. Like I said, you can't like on you don't have the same protections I believe as in the civilian world in the military. You most definitely don't. And then you're away from home. You don't have the support of your family and friends. You could be in another country. I get it. You could be out there in the woods somewhere. Um, I was on the ship. I don't recall nobody messing with me on the ship. I don't remember. But yeah, it was crazy. Um, so I'm at what we got. I'm going. So that was my thing, but I think it's one of hey, I thank God he brought me through. So I'm gonna take. Oh, I got one. I'm sorry, I'm going through. I'm just scanning through some of the comments. Um, but you remember I told you I started carrying a stun gun. So I know we went to California. Me and my Navy buddy, we went to the swap meet That's what they call it. It was at the football stadium. People would come there. I don't know if they still do it or not, but I loved it. They would fill the parking lot up like well, back home would be a flea market or a stockyard, but they called it a swap meet, and it was huge. All these people selling all these different things out there. Bought a lot of jewelry. I remember I bought myself a silver necklace and bought my mom same one and shipped it to her. But but yeah. So anyway, bought stuff out there. I bought my first TV when I went back the third time and got my apartment. I bought me this big booty TV for $75, and it worked for one day and broke down, and my broke self had to pay $75 more to fix the big butt TV. So, oh man, yeah, having some serious flashback. Um, but yeah, so when I left there, I went to Charleston. Yeah, I went to Charleston. I think this quick. I think it's a funny story. Um, so I'm living in Charleston. I'm on a ship. Didn't have an apartment of anything. Um, so living there and boring life. Didn't have a family. I lived. Stayed on a ship. That's not a good. I mean, how do I say this? If you don't want to go to work all day, and then when you get off work, you go to sleep at work. That's the way it is living on the ship. You out to sea is different. So you out to sea, you work all day, you eat, take a shower, go to bed, wake up, go eat, take a shower, work all day, and go to bed. That's it. It's like prison. But then when you're in port, and if you don't live off the base, it's the same thing. You you got to work all day, and at the same place you work, it's the same place you sleep. But a lot of other people who have families and everything, they was able to lead the ship. So I ended up getting a job at Wendy's. I worked at two Wendy's back home in North Carolina, and then when I was in Charleston, got another job. Like I needed to do something with my time, so I got a job at Wendy's. That's when I met Gullah Geechee people. Um, but yeah, I got some crazy stories from working at Wendy's. But so yeah, so that's how one way I got off the ship working at Wendy's. But sometimes I'm not don't have to. I'm off from the ship, and I didn't have to go to work at Wendy's. Still, what do you do? So then I went to the club once or twice. Every time you go, I remember when I was there. Every time you go to the club, and I wasn't even a clubber. As soon as you go to the club, they start shooting. So I'm like, no. I mean, just about every time. It's like it was common knowledge. And then when I met some girls, they drugged me to the club, and what happened? As soon as everybody getting out of the club, shooting start like okay. So yeah, so if you want to catch me at no club. But anyway, so there is one night. I'm gonna tell you the funny part. Then the funny part. One night I'm riding Friday night, didn't have to work, wanted to leave the ship, had nowhere to go. No, most some of the some a few guys they had a girlfriend or something. They go to their girlfriend house. Other people that live off the base, they would go home with their family. So the rest of us who didn't have no family and ain't have no friends, no relatives, no nothing, but I had to get off the ship. So I'm just riding around. That's kind of what I would do some of the times. Just ride around. Don't, like, what do you do? And I just feel for some of the guys that's in the military, still like, what do you do? You know? So I'm just riding around. Thankfully, I had a car to drive around. The guys that don't have a car, they just stuck on the base or stuck on the ship. So I'm just driving around. And then one Friday night, I was like, I want to go to um, I want to go to church. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna go to church. It should be a church going on somewhere Friday night. And I'm like, because I ain't want to go to the club because I'm gonna get shot at if I go to the club. So the next best thing is go to a church. So I'm riding around, and then I see this church. It's like it was dusk, like the sun was about to go down, and I see a bunch of people going in and out of this church. I was like, yeah, bunch of black people. They look like they believe what I believe. So let me roll up in here. So I went to that park, got the car, and just people having different conversations all over the place. I'm like, this is kind of different, but I guess they just hanging out before service gets started. But I still saw people going inside, so I just went on inside. And then when you get there, it was a book. Everybody was signing the book. So okay, you got to sign in. So I signed my name. Joseph Reeves was here. And then I walk into the sanctuary, and then I see, as you look down the aisle, all the way down the aisle, there was a body in the casket down there. I was like, oh no, I done came up in somebody's wake. I don't even, I didn't know who that was. So to play it off, I just walked down there to the end and looked at the dude. I think it was an old black man. I just I just tapped the I tapped the casket. I said, I hope you lived a good life. I don't know you, I don't know nothing, but let me pretend that I'm saying something to him. So I stood up there, 30 seconds or something, and then I turned around and walked on out to church, got in my car and left. So yeah, what I'm doing, I'm riding around again, trying to find somewhere to go. Uh, but I was done. So I'm gonna tell you one more. So so another night, the ship, our ship was supposed to be getting leased to the Greek Navy. We was gonna go to, there was a Gulf War. The Gulf War was kicking off. Everybody, all these ships was going over to the Gulf War. So our ship, we had a really old ship. So our ship was like, y'all ready to go to the Gulf War. So y'all got to start getting ready, making sure everything worked. So we spent like the 2 weeks trying to get the ship ready. And I was a sonar tech. So my job was to shoot the torp. Well, I supposed to find a torp. I supposed to find. Not suppose. Yes, suppose. My job was supposed to find submarines. We had all this computer equipment. That's why I loved my job, because this coat. My buddies would be around the ship all sweaty and dirty and musty. And when it's time to go eat, they don't work all day long. Now we go. It's time to go eat, so we go get the line around the same time. My buddies, they come out there sweaty and dirty, dirt all over their clothes, and here I go, like what? I worked in electronics. It was always cold in there, so I'm clean every day and cold, and they mad at me because they dirty and sweaty all day. But so anyway, we never could, we never did shoot our torpedo off. We could never get the thing to work. They tried and tried and tried. I think um, we shot some other rocket finally launched, but it was like we they came to the conclusion we was gonna be dead in the water. We would have went to the Gulf War. We couldn't have we couldn't kill nobody. We couldn't nothing work. You got these rockets and Ash rocket. Ash rocket is one like you shoot a torpedo off the side of the ship, and then other torpedoes you put a rocket on it and shoot up in there to make it go further. Then we had other torpedoes and stuff, other rockets, but nothing really worked out of the 2 weeks we was trying to get ready to go to war. So that would save me from going to war. So the military decided, okay, well, the Navy, y'all not going to the Gulf War. We're gonna lease the ship to the Greek Navy. So the Greek Navy started showing up, and then they was like, they was gonna decommission. All this stuff happened pretty quick. They were gonna decommission our ship and lease it to the Greek Navy because I guess our rust bucket was better than whatever they had. So they wanted our ship, wanted the ship. So one day they said that if uh, we're going to take the ship out to sea overnight, and everybody that's got a place to stay, the regular Navy guys, you can stay on land and let a dude from the Greek Navy sleep in your bed. So who wants to stay? My hand going so fast, I stay. And so okay, so I was able to leave the ship and didn't have to go out to sea when they went out to sea. So here I go, riding around again with nowhere to go, nowhere to go. So I think I did. I worked that night at Wendy's. Then when I got out of work after cleaning up and stuff, Now I'm riding around like, what you gonna do? So I decided I'm gonna sleep in. I'm gonna drive through the neighborhood. I'm gonna find an abandoned house and just pull up in their driveway and sleep in the car. I'd rather sleep in the car than to be on that ship. So that's what I'm doing. I'm riding around, riding around, riding around, and then I see this house. Man, this grass is so tall, man. It goes all up to your thigh. So, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go sleep there. And I ain't take well another story where I wrecked the car where I couldn't lock the door. So anyway, I pull up in the yard, cut the lights off, and then I'm setting up. Like, okay, what am I gonna do? I can't lock the door, so I rigged up something. So I hooked up something to the door and hooked it up to my hand. So okay, if somebody open the door, it's gonna yank my hand. It's gonna wake me up. So I had to rig something up. That was my security system. So I done started to lean. I got her. I'm all comfortable now, and probably got a pillow. I used to drive around with a stuffed animal. I might have used that as a pillow. So I remember starting to recline the chair back, and a light in the house came on. I'm glad I looked. I looked up there. It was a light at one end of the house that came on. Then another light came on. Then another light came on. I was like, "Oh Lord, this house full of people." What? So I had to jump up and crank up the car and get up out of there as fast as possible. Because they was like, "Why is a car sitting in our yard?" And I'm thinking, "Why in the world your grass so thick? It's about to cover my car up." So anyway, so that took my spot. I had to leave. Now I'm driving around some more, trying to find where can I go to sleep. And I think I ended up going to a truck stop. Yeah, that's a bad place. All them trucks all night long, trucks, traffic. So really didn't get no sleep. But eventually I figured out the best place if you got to go to sleep, the best place to go to sleep is at a hotel. Hotel parking lot. Go. It's quiet. Most of the time it's got security. Yeah. Anyway, that's why I would go. But my last story. Another time I'm just riding around Charleston, and now as I'm riding and I see this, it's a black dude walking down the street with his Bible in his hand. Like, cool. Dude just left church and he stick his thumb out like asking for a ride. And I'm just judging him or prejudging him. So he looks okay. He looks kind of harmless. Got his Bible. He good to go. All right, so I pull over like, you need a ride? Like, yeah. I live about 5, 6 blocks. I don't know how many, but he told me, wasn't too far, but he asked for a ride, and I still don't how you just randomly ask the car that's driving by for a ride. It wasn't on the highway or nothing. It was in the neighborhoods. I'm just cruising through different neighborhoods, didn't know where I was at, know what I was doing. So gave him a ride home. So and I get to his house. He's got an apartment. And I'm thinking like, oh, I might have a friend that's got an apartment. I got somewhere to go, so I ain't got to be stuck on the ship and riding around in circles. So that's what's going on in my mind. Yeah, it's cool. This dude, he got a Bible. He go to church. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for my new friend. So we go in the house. He invited me in. So I'm still thinking ain't nothing up. So this is a good old Christian dude. So I go in. We start talking, and as the conversation turned left, or was it right? Turned left. It turned. It turned quick. It turned. It turned the wrong way for me. But yep, he started talking. Again, I don't know what he said. Don't remember what he said. But the point was, how do you say it? I was attracted to him, or he was attracted to me, or how whatever. I was cute to him, or whatever. So, oh Lord, what in the world? No, 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 it ain't that kind of party. No, man. So he done just fooled me and deceived me with his Bible. So now it's like it's time to get up out of here. So, but I'm trying to play it cool. He wasn't like all the way trying to bother me, but the hints was coming out. I knew it was going down. So I was like, that ain't going down with me. So I remember he got up to go to the bathroom, And I said, he come back and mess with me. You don't know what's in my pocket. I had my stun gun in the pocket. So what I decided to do, um, so I put my car keys in my pocket, and then I had my stun gun in the same pocket. So I grabbed the stun gun. I don't know if you pull the trigger, you hear that sound, and the battery's charged. It's got those thousands of volts ready to go. So he left the room. I pulled the trigger. That electricity hit my keys, and that electricity went all down my leg. I let it go. It didn't make me fall out or nothing, but I got myself real good. And I was like, that'd be messed up. I done shocked my own self. And he come back out the bathroom. I'm stretched out on the floor. But yeah, that was that was messed up. So anyway, he was like, I was like, I got to go. Yeah, I got to go back to the ship. I got to get up out of here. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I got to go. So yeah, well, why don't you come back by sometime? Sure, I will. Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back Tuesday. Yeah, man, I got out of there so fast with my butt cheek squeezed so tight to get away from there. So anyway, yeah, that was um my what you call that hitch. Yeah, I got good old hitchhiking stories, but, that was the close call. Um, yeah, he was out, but they done deceived me, fooled me with the Bible. Thought he was a good guy with the Bible, but yeah, don't let the Bible fool you. If that mind ain't right, that Bible ain't gonna do nothing for you. So I had to get on. So that's why I say Little Joe's Crazy Adventures of My Nine Lives, because a lot of times I felt my life was in danger, but Lord got me out, Lord. Woo! Got me out of some situations. So I don't know. We got some time. Anybody got some stories like similar to that? Y'all got some stories? How God got y'all out of different situations? All right, I'm good. What I got? I got a huh? Come on, Crystal. I know you got some. This thing keep doing this. Show. Hey, Crystal, I know you got some stories like that. But yeah, I went through this hitchhiking phase. Um, what I got? I got 2 minutes. I'm telling you, the Rocky Mount. Let me see. Rocky Mount one day I was taking Shell to work. Say, come on. All right, I'm tell the story in a minute. Um, I was home. I don't know, vacation or something for some reason. I know I was in the Navy. I was home for the weekend or something. Shell needed a ride to work. I think she was still working at Wendy's. Took her to Wendy's, and I came back flying. I came back, went through the hill, went through the hood, and it was a couple in the street waved me down for a ride. I know it was early Sunday morning before church. So hey, that should be innocent. I mean, safe. Man and a woman, I guess husband and wife needed a ride. I'm a good Samaritan. Pull over, give them a ride. So they start. Let's go to this address. Go to this one address, and one person like the lady would get out of the car. The man would stay in the car. They go to the door. You come back. No, I need you to take me to another address. I got to go. All right, so took him to another address. Went to that address. Lady get out. Man stay in the car. She go to the door. She come back. And then I think, yeah, by that time, I think I see what's going on. They trying to buy drugs and got me driving them around town or through the hood for them to find some drugs. So then that third one, like, no, I got to go. So y'all got to get out this last time. So that third stop, I took them somewhere and made them get out, and then I went home. But that just made me like, man, they could have carjacked me. They took my car. I've been trying to be a nice guy, and they got me riding around trying to help them get some drugs or something. So anyway, yeah, that was me riding around old Rocky Mountain, giving people a ride I had no business. All right, that's my stories for tonight. Pray everybody have a good evening, and until next time, Lil Joe out. 8 seconds.